Alrighty, 3800 fresh out the engine shop. Let's put this puppy together. So I'd like to note, our engine builder normally assembles everything for us. Mr. Kyle didn't take them off the parts, so this is what we're left with. So no big deal. Go ahead and slap all this back on. You did a fantastic job there. This thing is clean. It should be good running. So to put the lower intake on, you got 4 gaskets, right? You got these little ones. They got 2 little knobs. You just set them down in there. Black seal goes out. And then you got these gasket plates. They got 2 little pins that you put in position, and they sit right where they need to go. And then you need some RTV. I'm using this max torque high temp kind, just because it had a supercharger on the front of the label, so that made me buy it. It's like the same price as normal. So we're gonna put a generous amount on the corners here. Because we want to make sure that doesn't leak. So I'm going to do about just like that on each corner. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and set the intake on. Thermostat faces the rear of the engine from what I gather. So let's see how this goes. Yeah. Alright. So what I like to do, and what I did here, I put Loctite on every bolt, and then I just finger tightened them all. So I actually did it in the torquing pattern, but that's just because I'm weird. You don't really got to do that. But now I'm going to go through and torque them. Oh, I forgot to tighten that one down with my fingers. But yeah, so you do that. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get them all to torque in order, and then come back and check them. That's the big thing, right? All right. Whenever you torque them to spec, and then you come back and you check them in the same pattern. And if you have any turn whatsoever, you keep going until everything breaks over without having any turns. Then it's torque to spec. So we've done that. Lower intake is now on. So I'm going to pull out the valve covers and the supercharger. And then I'm going to see if they want to paint them. Look at that. Valve covers are on. This gasket for the supercharger has got like a crease in it. So we're going to get a new one of those. I don't want to put that on there. I don't trust it. But yeah, those valve covers. I actually like the black look kind of. I'm not going to lie. I've got a little dust on this bad boy. I'm trying to fight those gaskets into it, but come on, let's go. Con's on the way out. He's going to get a new gasket and a water pump because we don't have one. And we'll get all that slapped on there, dude. And hopefully by the end of the day, this engine will be put together and ready to snap on that transmission over there. And we can stick it up in that car. Yes, sir. Here we go. We're gonna finish putting this motor together today. Also painted the engine cradle. Hopefully I don't have to weld any brackets on or anything. I didn't really think that one through, but if we got touched up, no big deal. This is just some rattle can bed liner, man, but I think it actually looks pretty good. So this is typically how we do any sort of undercarriage or engine compartments or anything of that sort. This is how I like to spray them. Holds up really well as well. It's like duplicate or duplicolor bed liner sprayed on top of a semi-gloss paint primer. So as long as you do good prep work, get it all done, and sticks quite well. But for now, I'm gonna put this puppy together. The last time I was messing with this, we got the water pump installed and the lower intake installed with all the RTV and whatnot, and everything torqued to spec. So I'm gonna slap the supercharger on top today, and then yeah, try and get the alternator mounting bracket in, the oil filter housing somewhere in here, an AC compressor's got to go on, so we'll figure it all out. I don't actually really know what we're doing. We're just gonna go by the seat of our pants on this one, so let's see what we can figure out. Engine about to go vroom. I actually feel like this is a pretty good time to pick up recording. So I got the supercharger painted, installed. It's pretty straightforward. The bolts are like 17 foot-pounds or what you torque them to. We got these Fiero rod brackets, alternator, tensioner, dog bone. I haven't got the tensioner yet, so I'll go get the tensioner from O'Reilly's tomorrow. It's like a 95 Ford Taurus 3.8 liter tensioner pulley or something. But this is where I got real confused. So I've just kind of been following the this other Fiero guy on the YouTubes. What was his name? Oh my God, Lost Not Forgotten, right? So he has a really good video series on this, which is why I'm not really detailing it. But this is not the same bracket that mounts the coil pack. So it took me a minute to figure this all out. I had to consult Fiero expert Kyle, and then he told me they're different. So this one goes in like this. It sits on top of this bracket, and then you shoot it down with a nut. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. It's got these like locking 15 millimeters on it though, so I'm gonna have to drive it with the impact. I'm a little nervous. The alternator that he provided is the incorrect alternator, so we're gonna have to get one of those. So I'll probably grab the right alternator, which is like I don't know, like a 99 GTP or something. Grand Prix. I don't know, dude. There's so many versions of these. It gets confusing sometimes, but I'll flash it up on the screen or whatever whenever I figure out what the right one is. So we'll get that in. I'm gonna get the AC compressor installed tonight. I'm gonna get the thermostat filler neck installed. I'm gonna get the fuel lines and injectors installed. And then, yeah, we'll be ready for just these two things tomorrow, hopefully. I'm gonna blast this down with an impact there and see what happens, I guess, here in a moment. I'm real scared it's gonna bind up on the stud though and snap it. So maybe I don't want to do that. I don't know. I'll figure something out. I'm scared of those nuts. His storage method is very similar to ours. Yeah, like that, but just in boxes. And I'm pretty sure they took everything apart and then tried to remember what bolts were what, because you get all these bags with like miscellaneous bolts and like incorrect bolts in them. So, you know, we'll figure it out. We'll get there. We'll get there. Well, yeah, that's where we're at. It's turning out pretty decent. Pretty decent. Painted this water pump pulley. You'll see I put tape. Did a tape line so it's still exposed metal on the center. I didn't want paint on the surface of the pulley where the belt makes contact. I mean, like, obviously these are grooved, so it doesn't matter, right? Because the groove of the belt sits in this, but this is the backside. So that's got to be able to have friction and not just burn off the paint and start slipping. So we got that going on. Clean that up. I think that about does it so far, man. A lot of ins, a lot of outs. A lot of ins, a lot of outs. So maybe I'll move over here to this filler neck because that's nice and easy. He sent it off and got it made. It's some guy in California. He takes the original Fiero ones and adapts them for this build. So it can't go that way, so it's got to go this way. Like that. Right, and that gives you a fill point high in the cooling system, which is the thing I was the most nervous about because it runs all the way up to the front of the car. But yeah. So 2 days from now, Kyle will be here, and the plan is to be able to put this puppy in that car. Did you finally get in the hole? Story of your life, right?
Definitely smaller.
That's what she said. I actually like this one. Oh, that's going. Oh yeah. How far do you really limit?
Just want to get it just under the surface.
That's good. It's pretty far.
I think that's damn good.
Damn!
About time you get the right size.
Alright.
Yeah, that ain't coming out.
It's beginning to look like a motor. What is that? Freeze plug with Smart TV?
Freeze plug with Smart TV.
Master Fiero Kyle.
29/32 freeze plug.
Okay, so you got your freeze plug in. We can put the injectors in and the fuel rail on. Let's do that.
Other instructions that
Read before installation.
ECU flashing is required when upgrading to larger injectors. These included dielectric grease on both O-rings before installing. Clean injector areas with compressed air or brake cleaner before removing old injector. Well, we don't need to do that.
Yeah, we don't gotta do that shit, right? How oversized were these?
Those are 60 pounds.
60 pounds.
I want to say stock is 42.
Okay. All right. be honest. Your hands are cleaner than mine, so yes, yes you do. All right. See what you got. Look at those fancy things, man. Oh, ooh.
Just pop that in.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Inside layer, couldn't I?
Alright. Fuel rails right there.
That was easy enough.
Grinding up my fresh looking motor over here.
Cleaned it up and powder coated it and everything.
Yeah, why didn't you?
Why didn't you?
Because apparently powder coating is not cheap.
You got shit upstairs, don't you?
I do have shit upstairs, but I'm not doing it.
Some of us
Remember what
do.
I said? Powder coating's not cheap, Kyle.
Some of us said.
You think the powder shouldn't come down the street was steep? Whew, wait till you hear my number.
Really?
I'd be scared. I'd be scared to powder coat that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, don't you know? Probably, let's clean the spider web off. I better not have that up in the injector.
It was easy. Everybody would do this swap.
Brett, how does it feel just being a master Fiero builder?
I'm not master Fiero.
Oh yeah, don't you know? Oh, look at that. God, that's pretty.
I think those are on, right?
I think so.
They ain't come off very easy.
I guess we'll know whenever we apply fuel, right?
Yeah, definitely know when we apply fuel.
Fuel spraying out right there. Something's not right. Used?
I don't think so.
Are you using?
The ones to use. I'm not using them.
What are you using?
These are Autolite 104s, copper.
Why?
Because that's what the Fiero guy said to you.
Oh my God, these Fiero guys you keep talking about. It's always the Fiero guys, Kyle.
Why wouldn't it be? They're the ones that did all this.
You're doing it.
I'm just following.
You are the Fiero guy.
Following the leads of others. Maybe you I'm the Fiero guy, but there have been people better than me that have already put this together. All right, fuel rail on.
Heck yeah. Complete. Gotta say, she looks pretty good. If it fits. It's always the question, right? Always the question. But, come on.